Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are a returning subscriber, hello, thank you so much for coming back. If you're new, hello, my name is Darwin and I create videos around my online business journey as well as creating tutorials around the tools that I use. So I hope you stick around and subscribe if you are on a similar path. In today's video, I'm going to be continuing the Payhip series that I started many months ago. If you haven't seen any of those videos, I will leave a link to these Payhip tutorial playlist where you can go ahead and check it out. So you can start with the first video, which is where I talk about how I started transitioning my products from Etsy to Payhip. And then I go over some basics, which will be useful for you if you're selling digital products. So how to get started with actually listing your products on Payhip and just setting it up ready to go. I have one here about the mockups because I have got a question from one of my subscribers about how to set up your mockups. So there are many basic tutorials here that if you haven't started with your shop, you're just getting started with Payhip, you want to see the process, go ahead and check those out. And one thing I also wanted to point out is that if you look at these videos, I am building a demo shop. Okay, so I have my Payhip websites, which I will show you every now and then. But when it comes to the tutorial, I have a demo shop that I created specifically for creating this tutorial. So that's what we're going to be using today. And that's what I have used in the previous Payhip tutorials. Here is what we're going to cover in today's tutorial. We're going to be creating a blog, so the blog section in your website. And the reason why I'm doing this is because in the next video that I have planned, as you can see, one of the steps we'll need to have created in order to create the home page is to be able to add our blog post. In order to show you how to incorporate your blog in your homepage design, we have to create the blog. So in today's video, we're going to go over an example. I'll show you how to add a blog post, customize your blog page, as well as your blog post page. And finally, we're going to add your blog into the navigation bar. Alrighty, so let's get started with the first step. So I selected one of Payhip's demo themes, so you can actually use this if you sign up for a Payhip account for free. It's available for anyone to use. They have about 5 or 6 different themes, and this is the one I really like. I like the aesthetic. It's very minimalist. It's a clean look, so I use this for one of my Payhip shops. So I wanted to go all the way down here because as you can see, this is the home page. This is what we're going to do in the next tutorial. But in this tutorial, we're going to focus on creating the blog. So I'm going to click on one of the blogs here so you can see what it looks like. All right, so here's what it looks like. Okay, we have an image, we have the blog post, and that's basically it. All right, so I wanted to show you what an example looks like, sort of like a finished product. Now, I'm going to be honest, I don't blog a lot. It's not a big part of what I do to promote my digital products, but it might be different for other people. Just wanted to show you what it looked like on the back end when you have actually added blogs and blog posts. Here is what the blog post looks like. You can add images, you can add videos, you can add text. The next step would be to add a blog post. I'm going to switch over to the Payhip demo shop. Here we are in my demo shop. By the way, I will leave a link to this demo shop, so if you want to check it out on your own and just see things a little bit closer, you can do so. So we're going to scroll all the way down, okay, until we get to the section for blog posts. So as you can see, I have not added any blog posts. So we're going to click on manage blog posts. So here's the area where you would manage all your blog posts. So if you already had existing blog posts, they will be here. I don't have anything, so it's completely empty. So we're going to go ahead and add a new blog post. So to do that, click on add a new blog post. Alrighty, so I just copied and pasted the text for my blog into the blog post area. You can actually write your entire blog post in here because we have all the tools we need to do so, or you can write it somewhere else and just paste it here. So here's where the title goes, and here is where the text goes. I'm going to do a little bit of formatting. I'm going to go ahead and make sure I add some space and maybe add some photos and just edit it around a little bit just to make it look a little bit better. All right, in addition to creating the blog post in a text format, we can add a few additional things such as links, images, videos, etc. For videos though, you would need to embed a code. So if you already have a video on YouTube, you can just copy the embed code, paste it here, and it works fine. This is how I have added videos to my blog post on my existing website. The next step would be to add our blog post image. They do have a recommended image size, so pay attention to that. To add the blog image, just upload image. Once your image has uploaded, click on image settings. And here you will be able to add image alt text, which of course would help you with SEO. So I'm going to add some dummy text there. Click on apply. So if your blog is ready to be posted, you can go ahead and leave this as visible. But if you're not ready to have your blog post published, click on invisible. And when it's ready to go, then you can click invisible. The next step would be how we would organize our blog. And the way Payhip distinguishes blog post versus blog is that the blog is your different collections or your sections for your blog posts. So what we're working on right now is a blog post. And the blog is the different containers that we use to organize our blog post. So when we click on that, it defaults to news. So we don't want that. We want to create our own blog containers. I'm going to click on create a new blog. And I'm going to name this Canva template, okay? And then I'll move on to the last step. Once we click on add blog post, it saves everything. For the advanced options, this allows us to add our name to the blog post. So if you want to do that, click on add author name, add my name, and close it out. And I'm just gonna add one more image right here just to show you what it looks like to add an image within the blog post. Okay, so I'll just create some space here, click on insert image, upload image, and here you have the option of changing the size. So if you wanted it small, medium, large, extra large, you can go ahead and play with the size here. I'm just gonna leave it as is and insert image. And then I'm gonna insert one more image right here. And for this, I'm going to show you a different size so you can appreciate the different sizes. So I'll change this to medium and do insert image. All right, so here we have an image in the original size and we have one medium, so you can see it's smaller, and this is also in the original size. All right, so now that everything is done, I'm going to go ahead and click on add blog posts. Perfect. So now that we've done this step, you can see that this area looks slightly different. We now have a tab that says manage blogs, manage comments, and add a new blog post. Remember, blogs in Payhip means blog sections, blog containers. So if we're to click on manage blogs, you can see that we have Canva template and we have news, which is the default one. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this blog. And I will add a new blog and I'll call this Google Sheets templates. Because in this demo shop, we are selling Canva templates and we are also selling Google Sheets templates. And here's something else that I want to show you. You can disable comments, allow comments, but only after you have reviewed them, or allow them to be published automatically. So you can choose whatever works for you and just click add blog. So now you can see I have two blogs and I can go ahead and edit this one, which is what I added when I was posting the first blog post, and just change this to allow comments and click and save. Perfect. Well, alrighty, so I went ahead and I added two more blog posts. Let's take a look at what it looks like. So to view your blog post, click on view, and here is what it looks like. Here is the image we added within the blog. So as you can see, it covers the entire blog area. So this is the one we kept as is. And this is the one we changed to a medium size. So if you wanted your image is a little bit smaller, just adjust the size and it comes up looking like this. And here's the other one we also kept the same size. All right, so let's go back to the list to see how we're doing. So I showed you how to add a blog post. I'll check that off. And how to add blog categories. So I'll check that off as well. So the next step will be to customize the blog page. To customize the blog page, we have to go back to our dashboard and scroll all the way down. Now you can see we have the blog post showing up here, and you can click here to edit the view or click here to manage your blog post. To customize the blog page, we need to go to the store builder. So scroll back up to launch your store builder and click on that. So in our store builder page, once we're here, go all the way to the top where you see collection page. It might not say collection page on yours, just depending on what you have created on your website. So what you're looking for is this rectangle with an arrow. So click on that. Here are all the different sections of the website. Scroll all the way down. We're looking for our blog pages. So here you can see the 2 blog categories that we added. What we're going to do is to edit the blog page. So to do this, we'll click on Canva templates. And here is what it looks like. These are the 2 blogs we added today. And this is how it's displayed. We can change how it is displayed. To do this, click on blog. And right now the layout is side by side. So we're going to click on that to see the different options we have. So we have grid, and this is what grid looks like. And you can change the number of columns from 2 to 3 or 4. So let's click on 3. All right, so now we only have 2 blogs, so it's only displaying 2. If we had more, it would display more here. So change it back to 2. And let's take a look at other layouts. We have alternating side by side. So side by side would be on the same side, and alternating side by side would be on opposite sides, and single column. And this is what a single column looks like. Okay, so you can pick whatever style works for you. I'm gonna choose the grid option, and I'm gonna leave it as 2 columns. And the next thing I want to show you is how to change the aspect ratio for the image. The default aspect ratio is 3:2. Okay, so that's why it looks like this rectangle here. We can change it. So if I want to change it to a square, click on 1:1, and as you can see, it changes it to square. And the reason why I like keeping a specific aspect ratio is that it makes your blog post uniform. So if I were to change it to adapt, right now, they're both the same because these 2 images were actually originally in the same aspect ratio. But if I were to have selected an image that was horizontal and an image that was vertical, and I keep it as adapt, it would not look uniform. So I like to choose a specific aspect ratio so it all looks uniform. So I'll keep it as 3:2 because that works for these images. And here we can change how the text is aligned. So right now it's center. This is what it looks like left, and this is what it looks like right. I like how it looks like left. So I'm going to change it to left text aligned. And here you can decide to show a quick blurb of the blog post or no. So if you wanted it a little bit cleaner, you can decide to not show an excerpt, or you can click on yes, just so the viewer gets a preview of what the blog post is about. And here is where you would change the read more option. It does default to showing read more, but if you don't want that to show, you can click on no and it takes that away. So I'll leave that as yes. And finally, for advanced formatting, we have the author name and the dates. So you can change that around. So if you wanted the date first, so we'll change that to date, and here add the author name. So it just changes the way this is displayed. And here you can change the dots that shows up here. Okay, so we'll change this to a pipe or a dash or just space, which is just nothing showing up. I do like the pipe, so I'll change it to the pipe option. And then you can play around with the spacing. And of course, just like with all of the areas within the website builder, you can change the background, you can change the color, you can, change the formatting around as you like. So I'm not going to make any more changes to the background. I'm going to keep it as is and click on Save Changes. And now I'm going to preview what it looks like by clicking on Preview. All right, so when I click on this, it looks exactly how we want it to look. So I'm going to go back. And I want to also see what it looks like on a mobile phone. So click on this icon here and you can see it takes you from desktop to mobile view. So I'm going to click on mobile view. And as you can see, it also works well in the mobile view. So it automatically adjusts the images and the text to make sure it displays correctly if it's been viewed on a mobile device. So the next step would be to publish. So if you like how it looks and you're finished with all of your customization, click on publish. And I'm going to go to continue editing because I want to edit the blog post. So how the blog post is displayed. So to do this, the easiest way would be to click on a blog post. So click on this one. Here is what the blog page looks like. To edit it, we're going to go to this area, click on the blog post image first. Okay, and here is where we can change the size of this image. So if you're not a fan of what it looks like here, you can change it. So right now the width is large and the height is small, so we can change it to, let's say, medium. Okay, and let's change the height to large so it looks different, or we can change it to small or keep it at large. Make this small. Okay, so this is what it looks like once we change it around. I do like the large, so I'm just going to discard changes just to keep it as it was originally. Next, we're going to change the blog post. So to do that, click on blog post. So here we have the option of changing things around in the text area. Just like before, we can change what is displayed here. Another thing that I like is the social media icons. Payhip allows the social media icons to be displayed. Okay, it falls to yes, but if you don't want it displayed, you can click on no and it takes it away. But I like it's displayed because your blog post can be shared directly to Facebook, to Twitter, and to Pinterest. So I like to have that option activated. And of course, here, if you want the show back to blog link to be displayed, you can click on yes. And if you don't want to display, click on no and it goes away. So I'll put that as a yes. Alrighty, so right here we can change the content width, so this area, so we can see what it looks like if we change it to large, so it occupies more space. And we can change the text alignment of the header. So now it's center, we can change it to left, so it's all left aligned. You can change it to right. I kind of like what it looks like left aligned, so I'm going to keep it as left. And then you can also change the alignment of the post. So this is already left, so I'll keep it as left. But this is what it looks like if it was center. This doesn't look good, so I'll change it back to left. Now we can click Save Changes and click Publish. I just wanted to quickly point out that what I did was I edited a single page. If you want to edit all blog post pages at the same time, click here. So the steps would be the same, but with this you can actually make the changes that would apply to all of your blog posts. So if I click on this, we have this pop-up that's asking us if we're sure we want to make global changes, and we're going to say yes, start editing all. And then it brings us back to the same place that we were. So the steps are the same. The only difference is that when we click on edit all, we are editing all of the blog post pages as opposed to an individual blog post. All right, so we have completed this step and this step. And the final step would be to add your blog to the navigation bar. Now I'm going to go over to my existing shop to show you what this looks like. All right, so here is one of my actual websites on Payhip. This is not a demo shop. This is one of the websites that I built in Payhip. And I just wanted to show you what it looks like on an existing website before we build it in the demo shop. So here you can see we have the navigation bar. So here's the home page, okay? And here's a link to the blog page. Okay, and once we click on that, you can see all of the blog posts that I have created for this website. That's what we're going to need to do in the demo shop. We want to make sure that there is a link to navigate to the blog area. All right, so we're back in the demo shop. I'm just going to preview this so you can see what it looks like. And you can see we only have two links. We have the shop and we have a contact us page. We want to create a link here that says blog. In order to do this, we're going to click on header and go to navigation links. So click on that and click on edit navigation links. So as you can see, we only have two navigation links, digital shop and contact us. So we're going to add a new one for the blog. So click on add link and you can title it whatever you want. I am going to call it blog, and click on this area that says link, and you can paste the link directly here. But because the link is a part of the Payhip shop, we don't have to do that. So if, for example, you already have an existing blog somewhere else and you just wanted to connect the two, this is how you would do it. You would type blog and you would paste the link here. Because our blog is built into Payhip, we don't need to do that. So when we click here, scroll all the way down until you see blog. Click on blog. We can then select the actual blog section we want displayed. So here I'll click on Canva templates. And you can decide if you want it to be opened in a new tab or not. So check it if you want it to be opened in a new tab. And if you don't, just leave it unchecked and click on add navigation link. So now you can see we have our digital shop, contact us, and blog. And if you want the blog to show up first, we're going to go ahead and just move it to the top. So now it shows blog, digital shop, and contact us. And down here, right here, with the blue box that says apply changes, click on that to make sure it saves the changes we have applied, and then click on save changes. If you're ready to have your changes displayed to your store visitors, go ahead and click on publish. So I'm going to do that. And then let's visit our shop to see what it looks like. Right, so now in our shop, we have a section of blog. And once we click on that, you can see our 2 blogs here. And once we click on this blog, we can see the entire blog post showing up here. All right, and that brings us to the end of today's tutorial. But before I go away, I do want to show you what's coming up. In the next tutorial, I will show you how to design an entire homepage in Payhip. So something that looks like this. So everything's going to come together. We're going to add our products to the homepage. We're going to add our blog to the homepage. We're going to add testimonials to the homepage, as well as an area where you can collect email addresses. So that's what we're going to do in the next tutorial. In the meantime, if you have any questions, comments related to today's tutorial, leave them in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.